You're currently nice and warm inside your shell. Shame about your potential siblings, though. Looks like turbulence just culled the litter a bit early. You finally crack free, probably around 2 feet long, and maybe 10 pounds. Expecting, what? Warmth? Soft bedding? Nope. Just freezing wind whipping across a ridiculously high, bone-littered cliff edge. See that eggs plummeting down the cliff face moments ago? First lesson, standing is harder than it looks, especially when those giant leather flaps attached to your shoulders aren't just wings. They're also your arms. They're mostly good for flailing and spectacular faceplants. Good luck scratching that itch behind your head. You're less a magical beast, more like a chicken now.
Hello?
Mom laid the eggs and vanished like a bad Tinder date. Dad, no clue. Maybe he's just a weird cloud. Point is, you're alone. No welcome basket, just freezing cold and Steve. Plus Anna and probably Tom. Your siblings. Freshly hatched. They view you mainly as the annoying, squeaky obstacle between them and Mom's questionable food drop. It's Hunger Games time. Feathers optional. Your first thought, dodge Steve's beak, avoid the cliff edge. Problem 2, you can't fly yet. You dodged Steve by basically collapsing in a hole. Somehow it worked. Congrats, task fails successfully. Food. Dead leftovers, unless Steve inhales them. And yeah, if things get bad, siblings are technically edible. Parental care is quick. Mom or Dad might swing by to drop off half-chewed leftovers, goat-shaped maybe. Dinner's served via gravity from way up. You dive beak first, but so do Steve. Instantly, it's a vicious tug of war. Beak versus beak. Parental supervision? They're probably eating popcorn while watching you fight. Feathers arrive, supposedly making you look majestic. Spoiler, they don't. Walking? It's a high-wire act without the wire, performed on 2 legs designed by someone who hated stability. You're all teeth you can't aim properly, and wings you mostly just trip over. Every step on this cliffside death trap is a gamble. Personal hygiene?
Ew.
Nope, not happening. Remember that itch behind your neck that started right after you hatched? Well, get comfy with it, because it's your lifelong pal now. You simply can't reach it. Try using the wing claw? You'll probably poke your own eye out. It's just there, forever, mocking you. You're getting bigger, but graceful definitely isn't your middle name yet. Time to learn to fly. Imagine trying to fly with big wings, awkwardly dangling legs, and non-existent balance. Forget elegance. You look like a clumsy bird falling out of the sky. Your parents' teaching method is direct. A little push sends you plummeting off a cliff. This is flap or splat on day 1. Honestly, you'll bounce off more inanimate objects than you'll spend time actually flying. It's a crash course, literally. Miraculously, you're staying airborne. Doesn't mean you've stopped hurting like hell from hitting trees, other things that fly, or, you guessed it, your mom. So, Independence Day? Mostly because your parents finally changed the cave locks. You figure out that you have to leave now. Time to hunt for yourself. Spotting dinner miles away? Your built-in binoculars are top-notch. You finally grab that sheep on the 3rd try. Now, the real fun, getting it home. Turns out, carrying dinner with just your feet while flapping furiously isn't exactly efficient. Expect a thrilling aerial game of catch the falling sheep multiple times. And those cool weapons? Fire breath, venom. Right now, they're malfunctioning party tricks. You're more likely to give yourself a hot foot or accidentally poison your own lunch. You're alone, awkward, and hungry. And territory? Forget it. Every decent cliff face is already owned by a bigger, meaner wyvern who sees you as trespassing vermin with questionable landing skills. Expect to be chased off. A lot. Finding your own patch of sky usually means getting your feathers ruffled, your pride dented, and your ass thoroughly kicked by every airborne bully with a cliff to protect. Finally, a decent cliff, only guarded by some really old wyverns. You start a fight. It's mostly awkward flapping and wheezing, but amazingly, you win, probably just by being super annoying. Bam! You're now a proud property owner. Somehow, against all odds and gravity, you've made it. Adulthood. Full-sized, wings like storm clouds. That fire or venom even works consistently. You're fearsome, majestic, powerful. You hunt bigger prey now. Deer, wild boar. This mainly involves a high-speed dive hoping to cause massive blunt force trauma on impact. You've carved out a territory, likely by looking incredibly scary from above. Defending it involves lots of loud roaring and impressive flybys. Your mighty roar echoes through the mountains. Then, instinct kicks in. Time to pass on those clumsy genes. Wyvern romance is about aggressive aerial duels, showing off how spectacularly you almost crashed. Impressing a female likely involves surviving near-fatal sky battles with rivals who are just as awkward but maybe slightly shinier. Offer her a freshly killed sheep, and hoping you don't accidentally incinerate or poison your potential date with a misplaced puff of enthusiasm. If, against all odds, you succeed, congrats. You mate, maybe performing some advanced, awkward yoga poses learned from a questionable mountain hermit. She lays eggs somewhere you'll probably never find, and you never see her or your doomed offspring again. You're now the deadbeat dad of 5 future disappointments. So here you are, the apex predator, kind of, fighting off equally clumsy rivals, dodging arrows, and hunting alone. You're feared, respected, hunted, and those little humans? They stopped sending lone knights with pointy sticks. Now, sometimes, they bring armies, and end up getting absolutely destroyed by you. Decades crawl by, your scales lose their shine, your wings creak louder than your bones during takeoff. That lightning-fast dive? Now it's a carefully managed, slightly arthritic descent, followed by a landing that feels like controlled demolition that shakes your entire skeleton. You try to roar with dominance, it comes out as more of a wheeze. Hunting takes more effort. You dive at a deer, miss spectacularly. Now you're genuinely concerned about particularly aggressive badgers. Scavenging becomes less of a choice, more of a necessity. The youngsters notice. They're faster, cockier. They remember when you were the big bully chasing them off. Now the tables have turned. They start eyeing your prime real estate. They challenge you. You try to fight back, but your fire sputters, your wings ache, and your tail cramps at the worst possible moment. You lose most of your remaining teeth, your pride, eventually your cliff. And those shiny little humans? They got way better toys. Forget pointy sticks, now it's rapid-fire crossbows, giant rocket launchers, and even cannon. You're hiding behind the nearest mountain and pretending you were never there. You used to be the endgame boss. Now you limp away, finding some forgotten, drafty ledge to call home. Alone. Your wings creak, your fire sputters, and that damage behind your neck? Still there. After all these years, still mocking you. Yeah, this part really sucks. The years pile up like poorly stacked bones in your lair. Those magnificent wings that defined your reign. Now they ache. Joints click and pop like ancient gears. You start preferring walking. Oh, right. You still suck at that. So how does the epic saga end? Not in a blaze of glory. More likely, a bad landing snaps a wing bone, grounding you. Or maybe you just get too old, too slow, too tired to hunt, collapsing on a forgotten cave. Alone. Old. Hungry.